online concession stand at rrgsnacks.com has all of our favorite goodies back in stock, from Western barbecue bacon jerky, freeze-dried goodies, butter toffee peanuts, and gummy sour peach rings. Tamera Mowry's husband, Adam Housley, is cutting up on Twitter in response to Trump potentially banning the use of food stamps for junk food. Auntie, come take a look at this.
Now, say what now? Okay, let me see. Let's bring this thing into context a little bit. Okay, so y'all know about the Robert F. Kennedy Jr., right? He newly been confirmed as the Health and Human Services Secretary, along with Brooke Rollins, who's the new Agriculture Secretary, okay? And they both believe that the SNAP benefits should not be used to purchase, sugary snacks and other certain items. Adam Housley said on the X, the Twitter, let me see. As a kid who grew up in neighborhood grocery stores since I was 5, I can't tell you how many times I saw people come in and buy crap food for their kids with food stamps, then open the wallet and use cash for liquor, beer, wine, and cigarettes. Then there were those who would repeatedly buy a lemon or lime, get the change, walk out the door, throw them away, and do it again until they had enough change to buy cigarettes or alcohol. As a kid, it pissed me off because there are some people who could really use the help, and then there are these others working the system. Oh, child. Okay, let me see. Okay, all right. And then the people on the internet ate him up. Okay, somebody called him a silver spoon leech with generational wealth handed to him, and moaning, telling lies about moms on food stamps. They said it just like that. And so he getting dragged all up and down these social media streets. Somebody else said that, Mr. Housley didn't know what he was talking about, and low-income families deserve autonomy in selecting their groceries, right? They shouldn't be told what they can and cannot purchase. Healthier food should be more affordable. So the discussion should be around the cost of healthy food, that it should be lowered and not limiting people on what they should purchase with their SNAP benefits. Oh, Tamera, she over here catching strays. They calling the baby MAGA. Now listen, Auntie probably ain't gonna say what y'all think I'm gonna say. When we get to talking about SNAP benefits, I don't know why black people get offended so quickly when the statistics show that white people have a higher percentage of recipients than black people are, right? So we need to get out of this habit of associating ourselves with SNAP benefits automatically, all right? If he didn't say black, then he said what he said, which is recipients of SNAP benefits. And I cannot deny his story. That was his experience. That's what he saw. And we have the right to say what we feel. This is still America it's still recognizable as America for now. Lord Jesus, take the wheel. But he has the right to say what he wants to say and to tell his story and the way he saw it and the way he sees things. Now, I will also say, along with that, SNAP benefits are government benefits. And we can argue all day long about if taxpayers pay for it or not. We don't know where the funds come from nowadays because America as a country is broke. So I don't know where the money comes from, what we use it for. I couldn't tell you. If somebody is giving you money for something, you ask somebody for some money to pay your light bill. When they give you that money, they expect for you to pay your light bill. Okay, not to go buy a new pair of shoes with it. And they got the right to ask you what you purchased with it. And they got the right to tell you what to do with the money they give to you. So while I understand their sentiment, and I wish that low-income families would purchase healthier items, healthier foods for their children, the problem is produce isn't shelf-stable the way that processed, boxed, canned, frozen foods are. Additionally, some low-income families live in neighborhoods that may have pest infestation issues, and fresh fruit and vegetables laying out on the counter just don't keep well, right? As a person that shops everywhere, Auntie like to shop. I go in stores. I go on your side of town. I go on my side of town. I go on their side of town because I like to see what everybody got. And one of the things that I noticed a long time ago is the grocery store on one side of town is very different from the grocery store on the other side of town. Now listen, I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. So I don't know if the demand was as such that they needed to offer more processed foods in these grocery stores, or if people just weren't buying fresh produce, right? And as a result, they stopped offering it. Because you can go to any store on the black side of town, right past the liquor store. Go into that grocery store and look at the produce section. It's not glowing and gleaming. It don't have the little fresh little water coming down over the produce. The produce looks pathetic. It's wrinkled, it's dried up, it's going bad. The grocers have to go in there and turn it, turn the oranges and the apples so the bad spots don't show. So is it the people are not buying it? Which one is it? We don't know. But people are being more careful about how they're spending their money, and if it's more feasible for a family to buy a canned pineapple than a fresh pineapple, that's what they're going to do. I don't think the answer is never limiting people's choices to this degree. But the processed foods, you're going to have to let that slide. You're going to have to leave that alone for now, Adam, because even though I understand your sentiment, I understand where you're coming from. And even though you saw this play out where people bought, produce just to throw it away to get the change to buy things to support their vices, it still does not represent all the people who benefit from SNAP benefits. We cannot begin to take away or shave away at, I want to say, liberties of people and their choices just because of what you've witnessed and your limited perspective, because that's what it is. What we really need to do is change the conversation about the ingredients that are in processed foods, because countries around the world don't use certain colors and preservatives and dyes in their food, and their people are healthier. That's who y'all need to tackle. The little kid is easy to pick on. It's easy to pick on low income and middle class families, because they're accessible. They can't really protect themselves. You need to turn your attention to these bigger box companies, and you need to turn your attention to the Food and Drug Administration. You need to turn your attention to USDA. That's who you need to look at. See, y'all don't want to do that because they got money. They harder to fight, and so you'd rather just shave away at what people purchase. But you don't have the right to do that. What you can do is offer education and incentive. You got to educate people on why they should try to purchase differently instead of just snatching away rights from people. That's a very slippery slope. We can't start doing that. We don't ever need to do that. But I completely agree and wish that people would purchase more healthy foods. But I understand why they don't. And I think that's what people are saying, that the rich people are too far removed. I think we need to investigate education, first of all. Secondly, we need to make produce and fresh foods more affordable and available. We also need to investigate what's in these processed foods, the dyes and the preservatives. So I don't know if we have enough personnel. I can guess that we don't have enough to investigate and audit to make sure that the families are getting the appropriate amount of SNAP benefits they need to make sure that their children are eating. So children, poverty, and hunger is an epidemic in this country. And that should be the focus. There's so many other things we could focus on besides telling people what they can and cannot buy when you don't have the full picture.